we're just gonna, hi, morning. Well, this is very strange, isn't it? Very strange. Good morning. I can see you all commenting. We'll just hang on a couple of minutes and wait for a few more people to jump on. What a lovely morning it is today. Got some great stuff to cover with you. So you can see, obviously, you guys are all putting comments at the bottom, which is great. There is also a chat, a question box as well. So if you have any questions or anything you want to pop in there, then just pop a question and we'll go through them at the end, just so that we can make sure we cover everything for you. And just hold on just a couple more minutes. There's lots of you in here, which is good. And a good way to start our weekend. Give us some food for thought. I've got my Euphora Renew, and I've got my essential oils going on. Uplift. I've got them going. Lovely. Right, well, today I'm going to be covering the Euphora 8 essential steps. I feel like this is so important right now, and it's called the steps to success, of financial success, because that's exactly what they are. And I feel like when we return, it's going to be so important that we implement this and we really start to hold ourselves accountable for what we're doing and how we're sort of conducting ourselves, because I really feel like when we go back, it's going to be a bit mad, a bit crazy, and we don't really know. It's so uncertain at the moment. So what we're going to cover through today, Dec, if you could change the slide for me. Change the slide. I don't know how. Ah, there we go. Go back one more. I think there we are. So where are we now? So I keep hearing this word. This is an unprecedented time. And so I looked up, what does that actually mean? What does that mean? And it basically means this has never happened before. So I feel like there isn't a right or wrong. There isn't a set path of what we've got to follow. I feel like we've got to decide for ourselves what is best for our business, best for you stylists, you run your column, that's still your business. We've got to work forward, but there is options available that we know have worked in the past, and so it will help us moving forward in this really uncertain time. Also, I feel like it's making us feel really nervous, and us feel like, I get nervous to go to the supermarket, and it's just mad to think that's the life we're in at the moment. So if we're feeling then kind of uncertainties, then your clients are probably going to be feeling that as well. So we want to talk about how can we make the salon feel as safe and comfortable for us as possible, and for your clients as well. Talking about how we're spending our time. So how are we spending our time? Are we just chilling? Are we sitting about? Are we binge watching? Are we using that time effectively? Are we going to look back at this time and think that we used it to the most? Are you going to look back and think, wow, I did so much with them 6 weeks? Or are you going to look back and think, I could have done that with the 6 weeks? Also look at how can we reinvent ourselves? You probably heard Debbie talk about the S-curve, and we're at such an amazing opportunity right now to reinvent ourselves and reinvent the salon, reinvent how we talk with our clients, how we interact with our clients. So it's a really, really great opportunity for us right now. And it's time for you to invest. You're here today, which is amazing. So it's great for you to be investing in yourself, in your career, in your salon. And so, yeah, I just want to sort of share some little bits that are going to help you out with that today as well. Lovely. If we go on to step 1. Lovely. Warm and friendly greeting is step 1. I feel that this will be for a short period of time, or maybe even for the future. I think we need to think more clean and safe welcome rather than warm and friendly. I think people need to feel like they're walking into an environment that is safe and that is secure and that is going to be safe for them to sit in, because we are working with clients personally, I do feel like they are going to be expecting medical cleanliness. Are we going to be able to provide that? We can't provide a sterile, complete environment, but we can do the best things that we can to put them in place. And these are type of things we can think about now, because I don't feel we're going to get a good, oh, we're going to go back in 2 weeks' time. It's going to be, you're going back next week, like in 2 days. I think it's going to be very job. I might be wrong, but I think if we spend this time wisely and we can put things aside now, so we have a protocol of how we greet our clients when they come in, how can we make them feel safe? Are we going to interact with them before they come in? Are we going to see them and or speak to them on the phone, or speak to them with a video call and explain to them the protocols you've put in place? I think that's something that we need to really consider now. How can we make the client feel at ease? What can we do? Because you're going to have a group of people that are still in the very, this is just a cold stage. You're going to have people that are really, really conscious about this and really nervous and don't want to go out the door. And you are going to have people that are sort of in the middle. And so I think we're going to get them clients come through in waves. And so we need to treat each of them to make them feel at ease and make them feel as comfortable as possible. I feel like we need to have some obvious protocol. So Debbie said the other day, which I thought was great, when you go into a hotel room, how do you know it's clean? How do you know the toilet's clean? Can anyone answer me? How do you know when you go into a hotel room? First thing I do is check the toilet. How do we know it's clean? What's a little indicator that shows that toilet has been cleaned? Yeah, check for bleach, or you'll smell it. The loo roll's folded. Exactly. And sometimes there's like a paper seal across the toilet seat. And so I think we can think along them lines. How can we show that we have cleaned that area? How can we show that we've followed our protocol? And so I believe I'm going to nick from Andy King's razor cutting, how that he has the metal tray with like tissue paper, and then you spray your tools down like in front of them. I think that's such like an impactful thing as well. And it's sort of showing them we are doing as much as we can to follow protocol to make you feel safe, make you feel at ease, and also for the stylists. How can we make you feel nervous? Because even though we're worried about our clients, what about us? What can we do to make us feel at safe? How can we make us feel at ease? Something that I'm going to be introducing with my team is that we are wearing gowns. I've had aprons. Aprons to cover themselves. I'm considering, we don't have to, but I'm considering face masks just to help make people feel at ease, make the stylists feel at ease, make the guests feel at ease. We're also considering possibly paper cups or asking them to bring their own in. All these things we'll be addressing with them before their appointments on the phone. Whatever we decide, we will have that conversation when we're making that booking, just to say, this is the protocol we're following, this is what we'd like you to do. I am also going to not have people wait. So what I mean by that is I have quite often some of my weeklies, my grey family, and they come in and they quite often bring their partner, and their partner sits and waits in the chair and they're just taking up a seat really. And I feel like I want to keep the minimum amount of people that is necessary in the salon. So I will be making sure that there's that conversation to say, I'm not going to have anyone waiting. I want you to come in and sitting straight down at a cleaned section. Just to help minimise, if you can control the amount of people that are in there, then I think that's going to really make people feel at ease and show that you're being proactive rather than, oh, this has happened, what do we do? It's more embarrassing having someone standing there and you go, oh, there's too many people in here, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to ask you to leave, than actually on the phone just saying, I know you normally come with your partner, but for the time being, is it okay to either wait in a cafe up the road or in the car or go for a walk, something like that. Just a polite way to kind of let them know that you're being proactive about this. Something as well, because I feel like it's very dreary and we're very doom and gloom at the moment, but how about we treat this as a new salon opening? Let's get that kind of, what can we do to give them that buzz, to make it feel like a new salon opening and to get that real, because it's got to be fun when we go back. It can't be all doom and gloom. We've got to have some sort of, we're hairdressers, we can't just be paperwork and protocol. And so we've been thinking into different ideas that we actually do mocktails. And so we're going to do a mocktail menu. So as soon as they come in, they can choose their mocktail menu, and we'll have a quarantini and things like that, just to make it fun and make it a bit lighter, just to sort of brighten the mood. Just something like that, just to create that buzz. We're going to put a rainbow archway as they come in. We can have a balloon rainbow archway. So they're going to walk through a rainbow archway. We have quarantinis on the go. Something's just to lighten it and make it a bit more fun, and to make them feel, I'm okay, I'm safe, I'm at ease here. Okay, our step 2. Step 2, slide. There we go, our dry consultation. Now, when we go back, this is going to be mega. And I think it's really important that we really focus on this step, because we're going to have, like, you can already see my roots. We're going to have roots, we're going to have bodge job haircuts, we're going to have men cut their own hair. Ladies, I actually had a friend, my best friend, sent me a picture of her hair on the floor. Her boyfriend had cut her hair with the kitchen scissors. I was like, why could you not have waited 6 weeks? Why could you not have waited? But people are going to be doing it. I have seen so many videos of people bleaching their own hairs and pulling it out. And people keep saying to me, you've got a salon, you're a hairdresser, why don't you bleach it yourself? I'm like, are you crazy? I'm waiting for the professional. I am a professional, but I need another professional to do my hair. So I think we've got to sort of get into that mindset that people are going to be desperate, and people do desperate things in desperate times. So I'm going to implement having consultations with the clients beforehand. So whether that be when we have an idea of when we're going back, I might have the team meet in the salon and we can all do sort of virtual consultations. I might do them all personally myself, call them up and just find out what they've been doing to their hair, what they're looking to have done, because there's certain bookings that are going to need to have a little bit more time. And I think preparing before we go in, then that's going to help us a lot. We need to set ourselves up to win. And if we don't prepare, then we're going to be failing. And we need to be thinking ahead, getting ourselves ready for anything that can walk in. I think before they walk in, we can have that phone call and just find out exactly what's happening. So you can do it virtually, you can do it over the phone. And something we can do as well in between times is little tutorials or how-tos. I did a funny box dye video the other day. Oh, actually, that's when we first shut. So we can do little things like that just to kind of keep that conversation going between us and the clients as well. Also, you might be able to, not for everyone, because I know we can't give out client information to the stylists, but if you're your own stylist in your own salon, then you might be able to send a text message, or just on Messenger, how are you doing? You could look up who buys products regularly, and do you need any products? You can sort of reach out to them that way. We spoke about pre-consultation, pre-appointment consultations. Skin test. Do not forget the skin test. I feel like at the moment, the rule book's been thrown out the window. The government are doing things they've never done before. My mum works at the hospital. She's a nurse, and there's things that they've told they've never been able to do. You can't do that. It must be done this particular way. And now we're in this never been before territory. They're just doing what they need to do to get stuff done. And I don't want any of us to bend the rules, compromise our professionalism just because we want to squeeze that client in. Do you know, skin testing is so important, and I feel like now more than ever, we need to be following that as strict as possible to keep our integrity as well. Also yesterday, Debbie said, which I thought was very interesting, a side effect of the COVID-19 is a skin issue. It could cause your skin to be more sensitive, and we need to be skin testing. So skin testing ourselves. We've been away from colour for 3 weeks now, and so it'll be another 3 weeks to go. So we're looking at almost coming up to 7 weeks before we could potentially be back. So skin testing ourselves just to make sure that we're okay and we're healthy as well. Looking at product history, when we're going back, I think it's important to go into the salon before your day and look at your day, look at your clients. Have they bought products from us since they've been off? Have they not? Are they a regular buyer? Are they not? What have they used before? Start getting that in your head now and prepare yourself for that whole day, rather than just then saying to you, oh, I ran out of something with aloe in it. All of Euphora has aloe in it except for the BE. So that doesn't help me at all. And I think setting ourselves up and looking at history, then we can look and go, yes, they need that. They haven't purchased it from us. I'll remember to bring that up. And I think it's best to do that before they come in, rather than hoping they bring it up in the chair when you remember, because we're so busy. So it's always coming in and preparing yourself for that day. Now, my favourite, portfolios. Everyone always says, I never have enough time to do portfolios. Well, actually, you have loads of time now. You can do a virtual one and you can share it on your business page, and they can go and have a look at it on your Pinterest if you decide to. Now is the perfect time to do that. And pictures are going to be so important when we get back. Now, I always do this exercise, and I'm going to do it with you now and see if it works. Okay, I want you all to think of a flower. Any flower. It could be more, it could be a bunch of flowers, it could be planted, it could be in a hanging basket. I want you to all think of a flower. Now I want you all to write your flower in the chat box. Got daisy. Oh, we've got two daisies, a lily, tulip, rose, another little daisy, gerbera. Oh, lovely. We've got some nice flowers coming through. Oh, a Delilah. Peony. Oh, they're my favourite. Sunflower. Lovely. The reason I've got you to do this is because I've given you all exactly the same instruction, and yet most of you have come up with all different ones. And it's interesting that we can say one thing, but we mean another. Okay, so we need to understand that our clients might be saying, oh, I want a big chop and I want a bob. But to someone, a bob might be like my length, or a bob might be collarbone. And I feel like unless you have that moment to actually sit and look at a picture, and the reason I explain this so much is it happened to me once, thank God, on my mum. And I said to her, I'm going to do some highlights, and I'm going to do a dark brown, a blonde, and a biscuit. And so I did the colours, and I was thinking rich tea, hobnob, kind of like caramelly, in between the dark and the light colour. And when I finished her hair and I started blow drying, she actually pointed out to me and was like, oh, what biscuit? Where's the biscuit? And I said, well, there it is. And I pointed out this lovely colour that I created. And she said, oh, I must be hungry and thinking of my favourite biscuit. And I was like, what's your favourite biscuit then? She was like, oh, I was thinking of custard cream. And she wasn't wrong, and I wasn't wrong. It was just that breakdown in communication, and this will help you save so much time, so much time. Find out if they've got a picture. Get your pictures ready. Find things that you can just go straight to and you know it, and it will save you so much time, because time will be very precious when we go back. The appointments are going to be like gold dust. And I don't want you feeling stressed. I don't want you feeling you can't cope. And this system works. So if you just follow it and you get a portfolio together and get a portfolio that it mirrors you and what you can do and your abilities, don't put stuff in there you cannot do. And don't be afraid to say, I'm sorry, that's something we can't do today. This is what I can offer you. This is what we can do. But today, that might be a hair journey we need to plan for, because we're going to have box dyes, home jobs. So we need to be sort of realistic with expectations. And I always say, we underpromise, overachieve. And that way we get very, very happy clients. So when I do my portfolio, I have them in sections and I have them laid out, knowing how I do my consultations. So sometimes I might have some new questions at the front, something that's sort of come up within the last sort of, so say now, I might put, what's our history? What have we been doing today? Just to remind me, I might have a promotion that I want to promote. I might have a new treatment that I want to talk about. And so I have pictures of that in there or throughout the portfolio just to help me. Think of it as a tool for you, not just a lookbook. To a client's eye, it's going to look like a lookbook. But for you, it's a tool. It's a tool for you to use to get the result as quickly as you can in the time that you have. And so I just think it's a really, really important thing for you guys to really work on. And we have the time. We've got another 3 weeks. You've got the time to get it sorted. An app that I like to use, the digital ones, I like to use Pinterest. Most of you probably heard of it, but if you haven't, Pinterest is my fave. And then I create folders within the folders and do things like that. But you guys can have fun with that. To the point questioning. Before, I would have probably sat down and said, we need to find out how they're feeling and what's going on. But like I said, time is of the essence. We need to get them questions. We need to find out what's going on. So if we can go to the next slide. This is a little statement that I've put for you guys, and it's something that I've been using. I have it saved in my notes section on my phone for when the clients message me. I had 3 yesterday. My roots are coming through. What box do you recommend? I don't, and it makes me feel really awkward. So I actually keep this saved. I pop that in there. It's just a kind way of saying my expertise are with the products that we endorse in our salon. If I wanted to use the stuff that was in supermarkets, I would go and buy them products and use them in my salon. I don't believe in them. I don't like them, so I'm not going to use them, and I don't recommend you use them either. And it's difficult because we're kind of fighting with our hands behind our backs at the moment. Do you know, it's a difficult time, and it's we've never had this before. So if you guys want to copy that and steal it from me, you are more than welcome. More than welcome. What I'll do if you want me to is I can. Oh, there we go. Sorry, my screen died. What I can do is I can copy that and pop it in the P4H Stylist group on Facebook, so you guys can copy it from there. And I can, if you want to send me a message, and I can send you that over if you want it in an email to make it easier for you. But yeah, this just really helps me, cut to the point. It's polite. I'm not being horrible. I'm just saying that if you box diet, we can't correct it, and also it's going to cost you a lot if you do. Simple. And also if they want to buy, I kind of tweak this around when I'm in the salon for when they say, oh, Euphoria is a little bit expensive. What can you recommend that does the same? There's nothing that does the same. There's nothing that's like beautifying serum. There's nothing like it. So I would only recommend that. And I actually just say, my knowledge and expertise are with the products that we have in our salon. I haven't used the products outside of the salon, so I wouldn't know what to recommend you. And that's why I recommend the beautifying serum, because I know it works. And I can guarantee that Euphoria, what they say on the tin, it does. And I can, hand on heart, say they do what we need them to do. And so that helps us. This is a really, really great opportunity to talk about retail. For those who really struggle with selling retail, you want to hit it 3 times, okay? So you want to say 3 times. If you think about the news will tell you sort of the headlines of what they're going to talk about. Then they're going to talk about the stories, and at the end they do like a recap. And that's because if you do it 3 times, that information is going to stay in the brain a lot longer, which is going to help you out as well. So this is your first stop to talk about what kind of home care you're doing. And if we go to the next slide, I think I have some. Could we go to the next one? I'll come back to that. Yes, here we go. So questions. So here's some examples for you. Could you give me a 3-month hair history? What have they been doing to their hair? And there's no judgment. Make sure they feel there's no judgment, because they're going to feel a bit embarrassed. They're going to feel a bit like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. They're not coming to the head teacher's office for you to give them a dressing down. We're here to kind of help them, and they might need a hair journey, and they might have done nothing at all. But we need to kind of find that out. What's your hair care routine looked like? So not what they normally do, because I guarantee what people have been doing to their hair now is not their normal. They've probably been leaving their hair longer, or not getting up and brushing it every day, or not washing it in their normal routine, or they've run out of products because they don't want to leave the house and they're just using whatever stuff they can find. So I think it'd be interesting to find out what's their hair care routine changed to, and then you know what retail to be talking about. You'll know what products to be recommending. You'll know the range that will suit them best. Would you like my professional opinion. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just want what they want, and you can't tell them. And they just want it, and that's what you've got to do. And so I always ask, do you want my professional opinion? And I think as well it helps them be reminded that you are the professional. And so yeah, I won't go through each of them. You can see them all there, and you're more than welcome to screen grab them, or I'll tell you what, I'll write it down and I'll pop it in the group. I can't talk and write at the same time. Questions. Lovely. Right, if we can jump back a slide to communication. I think this is so important to understand. Right now, if you're doing consultations via text message, you cannot see or you can't listen to the way they're saying things. They can't see you, they can't hear you. And the communication is predominantly your body language and the way. And it's 7% words. And I think that's so interesting. That I think a lot of the time we are talking to reply. We're not talking to listen to what they're actually saying because we're sort of focused elsewhere. And I think it's important that we look at how are they feeling when they walk in, looking at their body language, reading their body language. They look nervous when they come in. Are they confident? Read their body language. Look between the lines for clues on how they're feeling. But I think we need to understand that, like I said, we're fighting with our hands behind our backs. We can't see them. We can't talk to them. It's a really difficult time. But I think remember this when we go back, that we need to be looking at every kind of detail of what's going on. And when we are doing our consultations, if we're doing them over the phone, remember you're not going to see body language, which is 55%. That's a huge chunk of our communication that you can't see. You can hear them. You can hear their pitch, their tone. You can hear if someone's irritated on the phone. There's a saying, isn't it? You can hear a smile down the phone. And it's true, you can, but we can't see them. And I think that's such an important thing to remember. So when we're doing our consultations, make sure that we're being really thorough with our explanations, really thorough with how we're talking to them. Try and hit it 3 times. Something that's really important, hit it 3 times. Make sure you bring it up 3 times in that service or in that conversation or in that interaction with the client. So they really get that information in their brain, because they will forget, because it's only 7%. So just remember that, 'cause it's really, really important. Lovely. If we could go on to, what's the way? So, sorry, I just saw that pick up. The way is your pitch, your tone. I could say, yeah, or I could say, yes. And that's a very different way of saying it. It has very different meanings, and that's the way we say things. So hopefully that answers you, Marcus, so you can understand that. If we can go on to our next slide. I don't know if I have an extra slide there. Go on to the next one after questioning. Step 3. So our revitalising cleansing rituals. This is the client's favourite thing. So what we need to do is make sure we have a system in place to make it as luxurious and relaxing as possible. We have amazing essential oils and fragrances and candles with you for us. You can really create that essential oil spa-like experience because they enjoy this the most. This is their favourite thing to do. This is where they can relax, especially after what's been going on, a really stressful time. So we need to make it as relaxing as possible and consider how can we make this safe as possible, because you can't necessarily, I can't separate my basins. I can't move them 2 meters apart. So I'm considering getting some Perspex separators, like at Tesco's when you're at the checkout, they have the Perspex in front of them. So we could have Perspex down the side, or make sure we've got 3. So we're going to make sure that no one ever sits in that middle one, that they're always one chair in the middle. Have a protocol in place there as well to make sure that every aspect of the visit, they are safe and they're going to feel at ease. And so something for you to consider and start putting a protocol together. But yeah, think about how can we make this super relaxing? How can we make this better than what it was before? How can we make it something to talk about? How can we make it for them to go home and they go, oh my gosh, I've just come out of the salon and I feel amazing. You need to visit this salon. You need to see that, because there'll be a lot of clients that are on the market. There'll be a lot of clients on the market looking for new hairdressers and looking for new salons. So make your salon the one they want to talk about. Make your salon the one they want to recommend. And this is where you need to really hit them with it. This is an easy time to easy upgrade as well. Easy upgrade. It's their favourite point. So if you can maximise their time in there, they're going to love it. So hair masks, treatments, your crystal gel Malibu treatments, they're good upgrades with your Euphora treatments over the top of that as well. You could introduce beautifying serum. I did my makeup here this morning, so that's why I've got beautifying serum. I don't just carry it everywhere. So you could do this as a scalp treatment, and you can actually put this through the scalp, because we're going to be leaving our hair longer in between shampoos. The scalp's going to be drier. That helps moisturize, hydrate, soften, adds loads of shine. It's a beautiful treatment, and you could put that directly onto the scalp, massage it in for 10 minutes, and they could sit at the backwash and just have a nice 5-minute head massage, 10-minute head massage. You could charge an upgrade, and you can then add a treatment on top of that. So easy way to upgrade. They feel amazing, you feel amazing, you've upgraded your average bill, and they've walked out feeling fantastic. So just some options for you to think about, go away and think about. If we could go to our next slide, which is our step 4. Lovely, precision cutting. This is going to be a major step for you, because time is going to be so vital to you. Every moment is going to be really precious. So we're going to have them chatterbox. I did a salon visit to Andrew's salon, and we were talking about one particular client who loves a good chat, and I'm sure some of the guys are on here now know who I'm talking about. And this is a really good step to kind of like cut through that, because that's where you lose your time, because you're chatting away, and when we chat we go slower and we stop to talk and things like that. So this step, we can just ask for a little bit of quiet, just to make sure you really focus on this haircut. Especially, this is a great time to implement this statement, because the haircuts are all going to be like redesigns. They're all going to be like big cuts. They're not going to be just like a little bit off the ends. So you could say like, this is a really big cut. I really want to focus on the haircut. So today I'm going to keep chat just to a minimum, just while I'm cutting your hair. Just a polite way of, I'm just going to keep a little bit quiet at the moment, just so I can really focus on the haircut, and I want to get it perfect for you. And I'm sure they'll be more than happy to oblige. And if you do have that really talkative client, so if you do have that lady that, I actually had someone say to me, I've said this to her, and 2 minutes into doing her haircut, she went, oh, I can't do this, I'll just talk to you then, Nick. And so what I actually do is I talk through her haircut. So I would explain each section that I'm taking, and it does feel a little bit mundane sometimes, but it actually shows how professional you are and how much skill goes into the haircuts that you create. And also when you're doing the colours, you can explain to them like, oh, this bit here we spoke about in the fringe, we're going to do these particular colours. Well, that's what I'm going to do through here now. So if you turn and face me and, right, we're going to put this like copper colour in, then we're going to put this colour in underneath it and talk through, then it just really helps you keep on track, and it helps just kind of like minimise that waffle chat that drives me insane, because you're going to get a lot of it. They're going to want to chat. They haven't seen you for ages. They're going to want to talk to you. So this way you can just quiet that little moment, and it just keeps that professional integrity. Exactly, 80-20, perfect. 80% hairdressing, 20% crap chat. So that's what we need to really focus on. This step really helps us with that. Now, if we go into our 5th step, lovely, our perfect finish. This is your time to shine. If you want to have a chat, I think this is your opportunity to do that. All I want to say is, does EastEnders make you money? Does EastEnders pay you to watch their show? Does Netflix do that? Does your arguments with your boyfriends increase your money? Do you get paid for them arguments? No. But if we talk about retail, so this is the product I'm using. So we say like, this is the beautifying serum. This is how much I'm using in your hair. The reason I'm using this for, have a feel, have a smell. Create a multi-sensory visit, create that multi-sensory experience, and that's how you get clients hooked in. That's how you get them to love the products. And I think it's interesting to consider what type of clients you have. So you can see on my second point there, I've got your warm clients, your hot clients, and your cold clients. And what I mean by that is people that purchase regularly. You don't even need to really talk to them too much about it. They just buy stuff. You know them type of ones. I've got this amazing product for you to try out. You're going to love it. Put this in your hands. And they go, oh, yeah, put that one aside for me. They're your hot clients, regular buyers, loyal to you. They're loyal to the brand that you're endorsing. And I know that with Euphoria, whatever I'm saying that it does. So I haven't got to worry about, oh, are they going to get on with that at home? I know they're going to get on with it at home. Your warmer clients, people you need to they buy products now and again. They book fairly regularly, but they sort of need a bit more of an encouragement. They need to understand the product a little bit more. Well, why does that do that, and how does that do that? And then you have your cold clients that don't ever buy products, and sometimes we give up on them. But we need to understand, how can we communicate with them? Do we need to explain ingredients to them? Do we need to get them involved? And I love putting the product in their hand and getting them to actually feel it, and they go, oh my gosh, that smells amazing. I have a particular gent of mine, and we make a joke of it now, that one of the waxes, he just adores the smell of it, just absolutely adores it. So every time he goes, oh, let me just have a little, and he has a little smell, and has a little, oh yeah, he goes, that's my fix. He's got it at home, and he puts it in his hair every day, but we make a joke of it that we've created that multi-sensory visit. So when we get some other senses involved, like smell and feel, they can feel the quality of the product. They can actually get involved in it. And sometimes it might even be like a tool, like a hairbrush. They need to feel your hairbrush. Oh, that does feel different to my one that at home. Well, yeah, a £1 one from Savers is going to feel very different to a good quality Euphoria brush with a grip handle. And we've got the bristles that are not serrated and zigzagged to create grip in the hair. We've got amazing H.H. Simpson's ones as well, that they have the amazing barrel that turns a different colour to get all the is it the nutrients or the, Daniel, help me out, what word am I looking for? It'll come to me in a minute, but it changes colour, and then we know that it's going to be at the optimum heat temperature to get the best results with the blow dry. And actually have them feel the product, get them involved, get them to blow dry their difficult section. I love getting them to blow dry their fringe sometimes. Or I really struggle with it. It always sits flat, or it always kicks the opposite way. Why don't we hold it? And let me show you. Let me give you the brush. And you show me, where do you put that brush? And so they might put it in a different. Or actually, if you hold it this way, a really, really good event for this, and I don't know whether events will be the best thing when we first go back, but it's something to look at on the horizon, planning Christmas. I'm thinking Christmas already. I'm planning sort of my colour sales and my Christmas events. And when we did a hands-on event with H.H. Simpson's, we, in one night, I think we had, how many clients did we have in? I think we had about 15. I think we had about 15 clients in, and we did about £1,500 in retail in one, that was 2 hours. And we learned so much watching people do their hair and getting them involved, and they loved it. They absolutely love it. And I think when we can share that involved, thank you, Erin. Yeah, it's the plus and minus ions in the H.H. Simpson's brush. Thank you. I knew one of you would be able to figure that out for me. And so the heat, that's it. So you can see the barrels heated up evenly. Perfect. So I knew we'd find a way to answer that properly. So yeah, this is a really good moment for you to use them opportunities to show what you're doing, explain how you're doing it. When we're talking with products, we can talk about where we put them, when we put them in, because they might put a serum in right at the end, when the benefits they're going to get will be right at the beginning when their hair's wet. It might be a product you put in the shower and you leave it in for 10 minutes. It might be something that you do right at the end. It might be products you can use at the beginning and the end, but they need to know that. How they put it in, no word of a lie, I had someone put a serum on their roots because I said it would help like get away some of the flyaways, and so she took the bottle and put it straight on her roots. That actually happened. And then she complained to me and said that the hair was really greasy. This was a long, long time ago. And I said, well, okay, what did you do? And so we went through that. And yeah, we saw that she was putting it on in the wrong way, and how she was putting it in was completely wrong. And I think this last one is important, especially for them warm clients or them cold clients, is why? What's in it for them? What's in it for them? Why should they buy that product? Why is it best for them? Why are you recommending it? And if you took all of the products out of the salon and I only gave you one normal shampoo, not a Euphoria one, just a normal bog standard shampoo, do you think you could create the looks that you can create with all them amazing products? No, I know I couldn't. That makes me feel a bit sick if I had to go in and I had just a £1 hairbrush from Savers and a cheap shampoo. No, we're not going to create them gorgeous looks. So we need to explain to them why. And now is the time. You could go on to the P4H Pro site and they have fact sheets on there. And it has all of the information about Euphoria's products, because I do understand they are very science-based. There's a lot of ingredients in them that are amazing, and sometimes that can be very overwhelming. Whereas now you can go on there and you can create and understand, and you can create how you learn best. So it might be with pictures, or it might be if you write it down or put it on a post-it note, or we all learn in different ways. We all have different strengths of learning. And so now's your opportunity to do that. If you want to learn, and the more knowledge you have, the better you're going to perform. It's simple. What you put in is what you get out. I always say to my clients as well, think of your hair like a diet. And if you want to straighten your hair every day and you want to colour it, oh, I'll cover that at the end, sorry. I'll touch back where the fact sheets are. Sorry, I'm getting used to this. So if you want to straighten your hair every day and we want to bleach it, and you don't want to have your hair cut every 6 weeks, it's like saying you're on a diet, you're going to have a donut every single day, you're going to drink a bottle of wine every weekend, and you're going to have a chocolate bar with every lunch. It doesn't work. If you want to lose weight efficiently, you exercise, you look after yourself, you eat well. If you want good hair, you have regular haircuts, you invest in good products. Simple. I remember when I used to have really, really, really long hair. One of my stylists, Grace, she cut my hair off for me, and people used to say to me, "How do you get long hair? I would never get hair like that." And I say, my hair's a religion. I didn't just wake up and go, "Oh, I've got long hair." I invested in very expensive, good quality products that work. I know that the Elixir One is a perfecting potion. I know that is going to help heal my hair from the inside out. So I can bleach it, and I can blow dry it, and I can straighten it, knowing that I've got all that protection. And it's not just like a one-trick pony. It's not just one product that's going to do everything. You need to have a little collection of things that are going to look after your hair, and this is your time to talk about that. And people can feel passion. They can really feel it when they feel you're passionate about something, and you can be passionate about Euphoria because it works. It absolutely 100% works. And so something for you to really kind of consider. Oh, perfect. Someone's put up there the P4H Pro in the chat section. Oh, yes, Elixir One, Mrs. Hinch loves that. Fantastic. Fellow Essex girl. Yeah. So, yeah, Elixir One, I've absolutely beautiful product. Little tip for you, going off skew here, a bit squirreling. When you use Elixir One, if you massage it in, because it's sage and thyme based, if you massage it into your hands like you would do a normal serum, your skin will actually absorb 50% of that product. So make sure when you apply it, you give it a little tap. You tap it in, tap it. So we spread it across the hands evenly without actually losing 50% of that product. Just a little tip from you to me, from me to you. Right, share your skills. And education. Educated client is the best client. When they know and understand what they're doing and how to do it and when to do it and why they're doing it, it makes it so much easier. And then what happens is they recommend the products, their hair looks great, they look fantastic, and it's advertisement that they paid you for. So they paid you for your own advertising. How fantastic. And that's something we kind of need when we go back, because Lord knows what we're going to be involved with. So we need to get every bit of help we can. And so we need you to help yourselves, and you can do that by just showing them and explaining to them how to do things. Lovely. We're going to our step 6. In a minute. Lovely. So this is after, so think about the guest journey. They've walked in, we've put them at ease, we've talked about their hair, we've then cleansed their hair, we've cut their hair, we've blow dried their hair. We now want to have that moment just to sit down and engage with them one last time. Okay, think about when we do haircuts, we cross check. We do a little cross check just to make sure that haircut is perfect. We need to make sure how are they getting on with the products at home. Do they need any other products? How do they feel the products in their hair today? Maybe we've got amazing computer systems. We could set up a automated text to see when they've purchased a product, how they're getting on with it. If they have any problems, give us a call. Just check in. That's sort of like giving them a little touch base a couple of days after they've left the salon, and just makes them, oh, yeah, they might not have booked another appointment, and having that little reminder, that little bit of a touch base, oh, actually, I need to give them a call. Now I've got my diary, I'll give them a call and sort that appointment out. It's a really good time just to sit down. Is that haircut perfect? Are you 100% happy with your hair today? I love saying that. It's a bit nerve-wracking in the beginning because you're always scared of rejection, but unless you ask, I would think nothing worse than someone to leave the salon and think, oh, I wish it was a little bit shorter. I wish my fringe was a little bit, or it's a little bit darker than I thought it was going to be. How's this colour going to fade? What's the upkeep like? When do I need my next haircut? Do you know, this is a moment to sit down. We've done this haircut today. This is the colour. This is where I actually have a hair plan. So I've made one specifically for my salon, and it's like a trifold, and I did it on Vistaprint, and it has my logo on the front, and on the inside it has questions to ask during the consultation, and then the middle panel will have about what shampoos, conditioners to use, and I actually get my apprentices to pre-write some of these out for me. So it won't take up too much time, and I just have them in boxes, and you could even make them yourself, and you could put the products that you use and you just tick them. This is the product we've used. It just takes 2 minutes just to sit down. Are you 100% happy with everything today? We'd have saved time in our consultations and in our haircut that we can use an extra 2 minutes in this time here. Just a little quick, how are we doing? Are you happy? Perfect. Should we take you over to reception now? It just creates that kind of flow. Just creates that flow throughout the whole visit. This is a time as well to talk about your recommended friends. If you're trying to build a clientele, super important. Especially if you're building, you do have a lot more time. And it's really important to sit down, and especially with new clients. In my salon, we do book out a little bit extra time for new clients because we've never met them before. We want to make sure that they are completely happy and we understand fully what's happening and what we're doing with their hair. And when I give my recommender friends out, I sit down and I just say thank you so much for coming into the salon today. I understand it's quite a nerve-wracking thing to do, so I do really appreciate your business today. Here's some recommended friend vouchers. How they work is if you recommend me to one of your friends and they come in with me and have their hair done, their first haircut with me is half price. And thank you to you, your next haircut's half price as well. And I've hit the power of three again there, so that they understand they need to recommend me. Because there's nothing more frustrating than doing all that amazing work. They recommend you, the client comes in, and then they come in a different stylist column. That really upsets me because I was recommended and now someone else has got that client. I mean, it's great they've come in, but it's just a bit, like deflating that you've done all that groundwork. And so always make sure you're using the power of three whenever you can to do that. Lovely. Let's go into our step 7. Lovely. Completing the service. Now, I will say steps 6, 7, 8 almost together within probably a 5-minute time scale. So it sounds like they're really, oh my gosh, how am I going to do 8 steps through a 45-minute service? I do it every day. My team do it. We always run on time. You find time. And I think it's learning, are we doing 80% hairdressing chat? Are we doing 20% crap chat? Or is it the other way around? Because I find quite often when we're looking for time, it's quite often because we've got sidetracked and got a bit distracted with another conversation that's not going to help you or make you sound professional. And then we've lost 5 minutes of our time. And also just prepare yourself. Write some of these out. You know when 6 weeks is going to be. I know that most of my clients, their first shampoo will be urgent repair. So I write out a few and I put my name in there. So I didn't fully explain the hair plans. So one side has questions, the middle part has products, and they're literally just boxes. And they literally just say the cleanser I recommend, box. The conditioner I recommend, box. The treatment I recommend, box. Your styling products I recommend, and there's 4 boxes. And then it has your dry styling product I recommend, the tools I use today, box. And you literally just fill in. It's so simple and quick to do. And so this is a really good chance to sort of, you've spoke about it in your consultation. You've then sort of brought it up in your little guest consultation just before you're finishing. You brought it up while you're doing the hair, and it's just a confirmation of what we've done. There you go, you can take that away. And then you can put your name. I always put my name there because quite often they do forget, or they'll call me Natalie or Nicola, or they call me all random names. And they go, oh, the blonde one, or the lady who owns the place, and they end up calling you by your hair. Lovely. I'm just reading there, Jay. Or is it Danielle? I always show the clients in the mirror after what I've done the first section at the back to see if they're happy with the length rather than showing them at the end. I take more. Yeah, perfect. In your precision. Perfect. So, let me just read that out fully. Can you scroll up? Oh, it's like an essay. Lovely. Rather than end that way. Oh, I've lost it. Oh, it's published. Here we go. What do I do? There we go. Rather than showing them at the end, that way you can take off more if necessary with the cut. That is something I would go a lot more in detail if I had more time. When we do the full 8 steps, when I do the full training with you, it's like a full, like 4 or 5 hour session. And the guys that I've taken the classes, you know, it's a lot more in depth. This is just skimming the surface. This is just something that you can give you food for thought, but absolutely showing them every step. And so in your precision cutting, going back to your step 4, exactly, show them exactly what you're doing, talking through every step, and this way it helps you dodge bullets. So when you do get to the end of the service and you've sat down and you say, are you 100% happy with your hair, you're not going to be met with that, actually no, because you'd address that in your consultation, your precision cutting, and your finishing, because you're talking through everything you're doing. So absolutely. This point here is just making sure everything's cool. Let's take you over to reception, showing them through, and it's just finishing it off. It's not just, I'm going to leave you with my receptionist. See you later. I always think about my analogy for this is when gymnasts, I have no idea in the Olympics what is good and what is not. And I don't understand how the scoring's done. But what I do know is when they finish whatever they're doing, if that foot steps out, I know that's not good. Oh, that wasn't a good finish. But you know a good finish. And that's what this is about. It's about kind of finishing that moment with your client. You may pass them on to a reservation team. You may pass them on to another team member. But it's making sure, are we happy? This is what everything I've done. Just confirming everything with them and making sure they really understand. Because remember, the words are only 7%. It's only 7%. Lovely. And we're going to go on to our final step, which is step 8, which is booking. Oh, completing the service. Oh, I think that should be booking in advance. I've typed that in the wrong bit. It should be booking in advance, not completing the service. So this is your time to create a compelling future with your client. So it's your time to take your client off the market. I like to book 3 months ahead. And it's really helped us out now because when I'm calling people up, they've already got their next few appointments booked in. So I'm just cancelling that one appointment. I'm not struggling to try and fit them in. We've already planned that appointment. A rebooking raffle, I might have said this, you might have heard this before, you might not have. A rebooking raffle worked wonders for us this Christmas. So we started it at the end of November. And how it works is if you book one appointment in advance, you get 1 ticket in the raffle. If you book 3 appointments in advance, you get 5 tickets in the raffle. You have a limit though of up to 15 tickets, because you will have your weeklies and you can't have them booking their next year appointments and winning every prize. So I put a limit of 15 tickets. However, there was other options as well. If you recommend someone and they come in with your voucher, you get 5 tickets. If you post about us on Facebook or you do a review, you get an extra ticket per review in there as well. There's other ways to sort of create a bit more of a buzz, and it helped book our appointments for January and February. We had some of the busiest January and Februaries we've had, and they win because they've got their appointments booked in. And the prize was H.H. Simonson curling wand, or a year's supply of shampoo, which realistically, Census do a big bottle. You could give them 2 bottles, and that's quite cost effective. Or if it was Euphora, I was giving them, I think I worked out 4 bottles of shampoo. If they're washing their hair every other day, using the right amount, I gave them 4 bottles of their choice of shampoo. The cost of that, and the cost of how much more money I made from them having their appointments booked in the future, that was really the winner. And that's why I did it. And we did it as a trial and it worked fantastically. So for you going back, it might be just that new salon buzz we can create. Oh, do you know we've got a rebooking raffle going on? We had little signs on the corners of the mirrors, and we had them at the reception, we had them in the toilet, just so we sort of tried to make sure they saw that, and so it wasn't brand new when they got to the desk. But yeah, it was really good fun. And then like, oh, who won the raffle? And so I'm going to do that when we go back, just to make sure to encourage our clients to rebook. And then we're taking them off the market. They're not going to be shopping for a haircut then. They'll have their appointment booked in. Deposits, something I'm considering, because then the hair appointments are going to be like gold. So taking a deposit, I know some salons do this already, and I know there's some that don't, but it's something to consider, taking a deposit, especially for large appointments that are a good couple of hours, that take up a lot of time or are very costly. Usually the big appointments are costly as well. So taking the deposits, and it's a really good way if we're going back and you don't take deposits and you've always wanted to, this is a great starting point to go again. Think of it as a new salon. If this was a brand new salon and that's what you want to implement, it's now a chance to be able to do that if you want to. Help your business by rebooking. It gives you that sort of guaranteed, well, almost guaranteed appointment book. Right, that's what the books look like. How many more clients do we need to fill that book? What do we need to do? And it just really helps kind of bounce your business back. The quicker you can get your business to bounce back, the quicker you can then start to move on to things that you want to do with the business, and you can start to protect it even more. You can bring up something, I always find this is just a nice part of your 20%, and bring up something nice you might have spoke about. So if you are able to see them out the door, have a lovely time at lunch with your family, or enjoy the barbecue. Just bring up something you would have spoken about. Just shows you were active listening. You weren't just doing the yes. Yeah. My other half, we don't actually live together, but for this last 3 weeks, we've been living together, and it's very interesting that he's now realising all these little hairdresser traits that I have, that he'll be waffling away to me, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm not paying attention. But it just shows active listening. So if you can repeat back to them something they've said, it's like, oh, they were paying attention, they were listening to me. Oh, that's nice. Just makes them have a nice warm fuzzy feeling as they leave the salon. And I've already said about take them off the market, so we can make sure if you're pre-booking their appointments. I always find that whenever you've bought something or you're looking at buying something, you see everyone's got it. So it might be, I don't know, a car. You're looking at a car and you've got a particular car in mind, and then all you see is them cars everywhere. Or someone else, I didn't know they had one of them cars. Well, they've always had one. And you start to notice things. So if you take them off the market, they'll start to notice their hair's getting long and their roots are growing out, but they don't have to worry about shopping around for another hair appointment because they've got one. And they get that text message and they go, oh, brilliant, I didn't have to think about it. And you've actually sort of helped them out. So yeah, that's the 8 steps so far. And that's just a skimming of the top. Like I said, if we did like a full class, it'd normally be like 4 to 5 hours, sometimes all day. I could really go in depth about amazing different things we can do and learning about the psychology of how clients come into the salon and what they're doing. Yeah, no, we can go to the next one, Deb, that's fine. Something I want you to think about is, what stylist will you be when you come back? Now, Debbie brought this up, so some salon owners would have seen this before, but it was something that really hit home for me. Okay, so you can see we've got 4 different boxes. So it's obviously like a little chart. The top bit is high energy. So we've got lots of energy, lots of sort of time to do, like, yeah, let's get on, let's do things. And the bottom part is low energy, when you don't want to get up, you don't want to do things, you don't want to be proactive. And then we have, I don't know how this would be for you, to your right would be positive and to your left would be negative. So we've got to think about where are we putting our energy and how are we feeling? Because if we're in high energy and high positive, then you're going to feel proactive. You're going to want to get up and do things. I know when I feel like that and you go, oh my gosh, I've done so much today. I had a day like that yesterday and I've done this and I've done that. And you think, oh my gosh, and it makes you feel really good. And then I know there's days where I'm positive, but I want to chill. I just want to sit and read a book. I just want to binge watch some Netflix, you know. They're really good, but you know, you can get up the next day, you can sort of get on. Whereas we have a low negative, where you'll be feeling depressed, you'll be feeling exhausted. And I mean, there'll be days now that we feel like this. And then you'll have other days where you'll be higher energy, but negative still, where you'll be feeling like erratic. And you know, you have the moments when you'll be doing something and a million things go wrong at the same time and you just go, oh, I'm having one of them days today. And that's going to be when you're in your high energy and you're in your negative. And we need to understand things we're doing now, are we going to be putting us in the negative side? Are we going to be putting ourselves in the positive side? The things we're doing now, are we going to be putting ourselves in low energy or are we going to be putting ourselves in high energy? I can imagine a lot of the time right now, we're probably going to be in from the low, positive, maybe even sort of sometimes flittering into the negative sometimes. And that's normal and that's okay. But we need to think of what are we doing to help get ourselves over? Are we helping or are we hindering ourselves? Are we preparing ourselves or are we just accepting and taking it laying down? It's up to you. You're the only one that can control that. You're the only one that can change that. And it's good sometimes to have a day that you just do nothing, to recharge and to get yourself feeling better. But if you stay in that zone, it's going to be a shock when we go back. Because we need to be, when we get back, we need to be in high energy and positive. We need to be snappy. We need to be ready to go. We want to use this time to come out being the best stylist you can ever be. This is your chance to reinvent yourself, to do all them things you never had the time for, to be that stylist that you never had the courage to try that out of your client. Every client on our return is going to be like a brand new client. We may know them, but their hair is going to be brand new to us. So use this time to invest in yourself, grow yourself, get yourself into the right energy, into the right frame of mind, so when we come back, you hit the ground running. And then hopefully when I see you at an ESON down the line, we can talk about the figures of you've hit the ground running, you're doing this. Let's talk about how we can use them figures and push you even more. Because there is a lot of figures to do this. And when you understand the figures and you do this at the same time, it's magical. Actually, it's magical. And so I just want to finish on one last thing. And Dec, if we could just go to our last slide. So if you fail to prepare, then you're preparing to fail. And I think this is so true right now. We have all the time in the world to prepare for our return. We can prepare for situation A, B, C, D. We don't know what we're going to be going back to, but we can prepare ourselves and get ourselves in the mindset that we need to be to work through this and be the salon and the team that comes out on top. Because this has never happened before, where we're all going to start at the start line all exactly the same. And how we come off that start line and where we finish is down to how much you prepare and what effort you want to put in to be there. So thank you very much for your time today. I appreciate it's a really sunny day and we could have all sat in the garden. So thank you very much. Just going to quickly go over some of our questions. Right, great idea from Jessica Hopkins. Great idea, Ari the Perspex. Do you think some people would feel at ease or some people would feel more edgy? I don't know. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it like something nice. I'm going to put flowers on it. I'm going to put, isn't it nice when you go into hospital and doctors in scrubs have like bright coloured ones? And it's like, oh, that's fun. It's something you have to wear and it's something we might have to do. But I'm going to make it fun. And if we have to wear face masks, I'm going to get ones with lips on. or I'm going to get ones that have our logo and it has the team member's name there. I'm going to make it like fun. Like, let's try and humanize this situation. Let's try and, we might have to follow certain protocols. We might be told we have to do that, but let's do it and let's put a hairdresser spin on it. Let's make it fun. I hope that answers your question. Is there any more questions at all? I think that's it.
We're all caught up on questions, Nicole. Does anyone have any last questions for Nicole, guys?
Oh,
before we wrap this up?
I forget you can't hear. Can you hear Deck now? What I'm going to do, it says, sorry, I forget you can't see the questions. So can we publish where we get the logo masks from? I haven't currently sourced anywhere, but I've got a lady that she makes puts logos on a lot of our stuff at the salon, so on our aprons, on t-shirts for us. So I'll just get her to do, like, she does like little badges and you literally just like iron them on, and you can get like the material ones. So that's my plan. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, just get them to like iron on. So she makes them round, she stitches them on for me, but you can just iron them on as well. So just find somewhere local. If you put it on, we've got where in my little town, I've got a little Facebook group called Caring About Rochford, but I'm sure there's ones for your towns. And I just put on there anyone that does embroidery, and then loads of people recommend local people. And yeah, then you can ask, brilliant, on my return, I'm looking at doing this. Is there something you could do? And just have a look online. Lovely. Is there any other questions at all? So what I'll do is I've got written down here is I'm going to put in there that little statement about boxed iron and how to kind of dodge that question. And I'll also put the link in there as well for the Euphora fact sheets as well, so you can have a look over and really swat up on the products.
Brilliant. Amazing presentation this morning, Nicole. Thanks for everyone that joined. You may or may not be aware that the room reached maximum capacity, so there were people that were unable to get in.
Oh my God.
If you guys can let any colleagues that you know that weren't unable to get in, the link to the rerun will be immediately put on P4H Stylist hotline as soon as we finish. And I just want you guys to know that we have already put actions in place to extend the capacity, so this doesn't happen next week. Thanks for joining us this morning, guys. It's a really good presentation. I hope everyone has a really good weekend.
Yeah.
And we look forward to seeing you next week. We've got some really good content coming up. And yeah, have a great weekend. If you do want to dive more into the 8 steps, be on the lookout once everything gets back to normal, because you can come into the P4H Academy and Nicole will give you the 8-step treatment for the day, and you can learn a lot more and have a deeper dive into the 8 steps. Once again, Nicole, thanks very much.
No, thank you. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful weekend. Hope it's giving you some food for thought. Enjoy the weather, because it's beautiful. Get out there and get some notes going.
Yeah, see you later, guys. Have a great weekend.